Yo, what's going on, guys? DJ Hes here, Collectivekicks.com. Wanted to bring you guys a video today. Have a little bit of a comparison game going on in this video. I want to compare the infrared color from the Jordans and the infrared color of the Air Max 90s. Thought it'd be kind of a fun concept video. If you guys like it, please give the video a thumbs up. At the end of the video, I'll have an on-foot section of the Air Max 90 infrareds and the Air Max 90 Croc infrareds. And basically just... it's basically just a comparison between these and then also some of the other Air Max 90 models. So lots of stuff to cover. Again, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. But let's go ahead and get in. The Air Max 90, really classic model. And this is the classic colorway on the classic model. So it's kind of like a double whammy. And it's like one of those ones that I recommend if you're a sneaker fanatic and you like Air Max 90s. This is like the kind of the go-to colorway for the model. And at least to have one colorway in your collection at one point through your entire lifetime, that's my recommendation. I like the fact that Nike brings them back fairly often, but I'm also, it's kind of confusing, but at the same time, I get what they're doing probably. This is my assumption at least, because they retro them out every couple years or so, but then they bring them back out and they're a little bit different than the previous version. It's hard to tell which is quote-unquote the OG. This, on the box, it says that the OG version, but there's definitely differences between these and then the other version, which are these ones right there that came out the last time. And I'll show you that up close here. Basically, the biggest thing, this is the one that retroed the last time, and this one on the tags, it says 2012. And this is the one I ended up getting from Sneakers and Stuff, which they had in stock that I got like this last year, which is just crazy. Some of the differences that I noticed is the leather on this one's a little bit better. It just looks better to me than this one. And I'm not sure about this material here. If this is, it's not real suede. It feels like felt, as I've mentioned in the past. But the biggest difference between these two, as you can see the side-by-side of the two models. One, the coloring of the infrared is different. You could see this one is definitely more of a reddish. It's not really a true quote-unquote infrared, but that's another discussion of what is infrared, because the colors of infrared have changed dramatically through the years. And you can see this is more reddish. This is kind of more hot pinkish. But the other thing is, the most notable out of everything is the collar. The collar of the originals are gray, and then the collar of the ones that retroed recently are white. And I know that they were called the OGs, and I know that they said they were infrared and all that stuff, at least the way that it was promoted. But as I'm going to try to get down to the box and show you, the box doesn't say infrared anywhere. So as you can see on the box label, it just says white, cool gray, and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't say infrared. Now, this will be an interesting test because I actually didn't check for this yet. So kind of making this video up as I go. Which is kind of usually the way I roll anyway. But I want to check the box on the other pair and see what this one says. Does it actually say infrared? And this one does. So you can see on the box it says sail cool gray, and then it says infrared at the end there. So this is, I guess, what would be considered the true infrared color on this pair. And you can see it's more pinkish again than the pair here, which doesn't say infrared. So here's a side-by-side of the two, as you can see. I don't know if it really does something for you or not. I definitely feel like this is a little bit too dark for my taste, and it would be fun to be able to customize this and make it kind of a better infrared color. I'm not sure if that's actually going to happen or not. I will say that I do have a project that I will be working on soon with the Air Jordan 6, and I will be doing a paint job of this infrared. That's just basically all I'll say. I want to have basically one look like the newer one and then one look like the older one. So that's kind of something in the works that I'm going to be doing. So look forward to that on the channel. But that's pretty much the side-by-side of those two. Another thing I wanted to show you guys, excuse me, I sniffle a little bit in the camera, is this is my Nike ID version that I've shown you guys. And you guys can make this currently on Nike ID. I'll put a link in the description. It is a croc print, and I've worn these a handful of times, as you can see. Pretty beat up right here, but I don't mind the creasing personally. Anyway, I did black croc print, and I did the white croc print around it. The only downside about Nike ID, this is something that I've given feedback on. I wish that I could make the soles differently. I wish I could make it two-tone like the actual releases, and it's maybe something in the future we'll see. Who knows? But and same as on the back, how it says Nike Air there, and it's not filled in like the other ones. But if you look at the side-by-side, it's pretty close on the Nike ID. I mean, I really made it as close as I could to the original. I do like this because it's kind of nice. This area, this material is actually leather. comparison to this kind of felt material. But all in all, I think this is pretty good. I didn't use infrared. I used a different color. I can't remember the actual color. But if you look close to the infrared or the red, it's still closer to infrared than the actual pair that released. It's actually lighter or more pinkish than this one. So interestingly enough there. And then just for comparative reasons, and I grabbed both of the wrong ones, of course, the croc print differences. This is more kind of an ostrich print if you look at it up close. And then this is the croc print. So just a heads up of the different. They are different materials. These ones are Nike ID. These ones are not. These ones are the ones released. Then they kind of mixed it up on this black pair. Just did the black out on the upper. And then they used the black patent. So it's totally not like a true to the form sort of infrared. But I like that all of the accents on it are like the infrared hits like the other one. But just the same as the previous. You can see the color is exactly the same as the other new one. So no surprise there. This one are the exact same colors of infrared and or non-infrared, if you will. And then really the other thing I wanted to compare, and I can hold these up like so, is the Jordan infrared versus this one. And I don't know if you can tell in the lighting. In person, this one is definitely redder, and this is very, very pink, as you can tell. The infrared color has definitely had a lot of changes through the years. Here's a look side by side of the infrared and the other infrared. That's actually pretty close. This feels like it's pinker, but it actually looks pretty close next to each other, as you can see right there. And then maybe a look at the black pair next to it if you guys wanted to see that. The pink on the black pair, for me, at least in my look, it looks a lot pinker than like hot pinkish versus an actual infrared color. But maybe that's just me. And some of you guys might be wondering why this one has like kind of yellow midsole and kind of dingy on the bottom. That's the way they released him. They made him look kind of retro-ish and OG looking to make it kind of have that kind of appeal. I'm going to go ahead and put the on-foot section right here for you guys. So discussion point for the video. What do you guys think about the Air Max 90 infrared color or the non-infrared color, if you will, for an OG? They labeled it the OG, which means original, if you guys didn't know. And so it's kind of interesting that they did label it like that. They changed the collar so it's gray. I'm sure you guys can point out some other differences that they changed that I didn't catch. But it is a little different. And sometimes, like Jordan Brand does the same thing every time they make a retro. They make something a little bit different so they're not all exactly the same. Maybe that's the intent of them doing the same thing for the Air Max 90s. Because this is probably one of the most retroed non-Jordan pair of sneakers that Nike does. If you guys can think of another pair that they do similar to this, leave a comment and let me know. I know the Air Max 95s are another one with the neon green colorway. They've done that one probably 7 times or so, maybe five times at least. But I'm curious, that one seems like it stays true to form every single time. This one's one where it's like they get the formula really close, but not 100%. And it would be nice to have it kind of like true to the original. My ask, and I showed you guys a video already about my thoughts on like them bringing back and retroing Nikes and kind of the fails that they've done in the Nike basketball realm. My ask would be to make like a really dope retro of a shoe and make it really, really like true to form and also use premium materials. Maybe better materials than they did on the originals and just kind of give us like a really premium dope product that's true to the original. I think that would be sick. It would take a focused effort for them to do something like that, but it would make consumers like me really happy, provided I was able to cop a pair, which is always the daily struggle when you have sneakers out there nowadays. But anyway, hopefully you guys like this video. I know it's been long enough. If you guys did, please again give it a thumbs up. And I will have a lot more like videos like this where I'm comparing products. If you guys haven't noticed, this is kind of what I do on my channel mostly. But stay tuned for some more stuff, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace.